This video's History of Playhouse Disney Part 2 is brought to you by Brandon Williams. Thank you again, Brandon, for this 4-part series, and with contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. As part 1 was about us traveling back in time to the early 90s / late 90s, now we travel a few years later within this history and within this series as we go to the early 2000s and we take a look at shows like Stanley, Higgly Heroes, JoJo Circus, and the Book of Pooh. So strap in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as we travel to the era of when I was born and the history of Playhouse Disney 2000s edition. Let's start off with the Book of Pooh, created by Mitchell Kriegman, or Kriegman. All I know is it's Krieg, man. This ran for 2 years, ran from January 22nd of 2001 to July 8th of 2003. So I'm probably gonna guess like a good 2 to 3 seasons this ran for. And this was also directed by a man named John Ludwig and a few other people and company, along with and including legendary voice actor himself, man who does both Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, Jim Cummings. And you know, what's really interesting about this whole history and this whole thing that I do so far is that I get to have a reason to look at some of these older shows that I either 100% remember, 50% remember, or I 0% remember, because I really don't remember Book of Pooh, surprisingly enough, which is weird because I have a VHS of it, like this one right here on screen. That's the one right there. I have it. Just don't remember any episodes, if I'm being honest. However, like I said, the beauty of this whole history and this deep dive, it allows me and gives me excuse to visit or revisit, get familiar or re-familiar with these shows. And you know, this is definitely an adorable show that I will forever remember. And also, little known facts, is that this was also repeated. I'm gonna guess probably had reruns or maybe had a resurface or resurgence in June of 2006, May 2007 in the UK, and for you Winnie the Pooh purists, A.A. Milne was involved with this show too, and did this show along with Welcome to Pooh's Corner and The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. In September 1st of 2004 through 2008 was Higgly Heroes, created by Denise Morella, Kent Redeker, and Jeff Yulin, and was directed by Denise Morella. This showcased around characters that were referred to as heroes. Not necessarily superheroes, but more like your average everyday heroes, and it focused on occupations like firefighters, police officers, doctors, veterinarians. I think there might have been military, but I think this mainly focused on heroes, in quote, like those in the field that rescue that sort of corner of the world. I mean, this is 3 years after I was born, give or take a few days or so, but still the implication is there. And after going into a little bit of research, not only did this have 3 seasons, but the amount of guest stars that are on this show, from the talents and likes of D. Bradley Baker, Mindy Sterling, Wayne Brady, Kevin Michael Richardson, Rob Paulson, Betty White, Sean Ashton, Henry Winkler, Tim Curry, the list went on and on and on of people that were on this show, surprisingly enough. And for any of you that either did know or didn't know, Jamie Lynn Sigler was Miss Fern the Squirrel. And for any of you that don't know that name or that might sound familiar, her voice is very recognizable. But also, she's appeared in various of movies, various of 80s films with the likes of Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So if you do recognize this person, now you know. I don't remember what else she has done in terms of her voice work, but she just has a very recognizable voice. This was just a really cute show from what I remember, and I just love the fact that these characters look like Russian nesting dolls, and I appreciate the moral they are trying to go with in these characters referred to as heroes, acknowledging your everyday person that does something right or just does something good and does a good deed or is doing their job. We enter the circus with JoJo Circus, created by Jim and Lisa Jenkins, who we've talked a little bit about before with PBJ and Otter and Cartoon Pizza and things like Doug, and there's another show that we might touch upon that Jim Jenkins might have had his hand in. But this is also co-written and produced by David Campbell and Douglas Wood, and this aired from September 28th, 2003 to February 14th of 2007, so I'm going to say roughly around 4 seasons, probably 3 or 4, give or take. And I just remember this being about our main lead named JoJo, not the one you're thinking of, thank God. A girl named JoJo and her pet lion Goliath, and her circus family, and there being a circus family and circus antics and circus shenanigans, things that kind of maybe get a little topsy-turvy, things get silly and things get goofy. Silly little mistakes happen here and there along the way, and I haven't had a hot minute since I've really watched this, but I do like this show. I remember really enjoying this show a lot. I had the plushies of the toys of some of the characters. I even remember that for a brief moment, there was a meet and greet for JoJo Circus near the Playhouse Disney section at Hollywood Studios, aka MGM Studios. I think I have a picture with JoJo, which I have no idea, it's been a while, but there was a costume character of the main character, which was kind of cool. It was neat. At least this show was doing something somewhat unique, and I do like that it kind of stands out of all the things that we've talked about, especially with Cartoon Pizza, because it very much looks like claymation stop motion. It looks like it has that clay-like texture with stretching and molding. It looks really good, and it really does. I still give this show some credit and some respect, 100%. And speaking of Cartoon Pizza and Jim Jenkins and David Campbell, we finally wrap things up with Stanley. This show had 3 seasons and 65 episodes, and literally aired in September 15th of 2001 till November 26th of 2004. So literally 4 days before I was born, this show aired. And this was, I think, very cute. This was very adorable. The idea of this little kid named Stanley, who has a talking fish along with a talking cat and dog, as he has this big book called The Great Big Book of Everything. And if I remember correctly, it transported him to other worlds. Like, if he wanted to learn about animals, he can search up the animal in, like, his own encyclopedia, his own dictionary, and just travel to that place where they're located. Like, if it's a tiger, he can go to Asia. If it's a certain type of species of bird, he can go to, like, the rainforest or Costa Rica or something. Either that or the animal itself would transport itself or teleport itself to the location of where Stanley is. Really creative, really, really fun, a lot of energy to this show. And just like with every other Playhouse Disney Channel TV show, it also was featured in the Playhouse Disney Junior live stage. Stanley himself even got his own costume character, and he had even the little fish guy with him, his little goldfish with him. And I even remember having the plushie of Stanley with the goldfish. So I definitely have a soft spot for this show. Not that I don't have for the others, but I definitely have a soft spot for this one. And that's all I can really add, and that's all I'm going to really add to all these shows, if I'm being honest. I apologize that I can't add any more substance or add more any more knowledge to this, because the time of me recording this, I'm going off based of my own, not nostalgia, but based off my own past experiences and past memories I have of these shows, and I'm adding in the clips after the fact. But nonetheless, whether this is past tense knowledge and memories or current memories of revisiting these shows, it's really nice to just be able to say, hey, I grew up with these shows and I have fond memories of them, and that these were a part of my childhood, and it's been really great to revisit them, and I look forward to what part 3 has in store for me. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you like this video, please smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do awesome videos every day, every week. Make sure you ring that bell to new videos every day week. Share the video with any friends, all the good stuff, and more latest editions down in the comments. You name it, I'll look to it as best as possible. Let me know also in the comments if you guys remember anything from your childhoods, whether it's anything Playhouse Disney related, or anything Disney related, or anything just in general, like something maybe out of the blue, out of pocket. Let me know down below. Keep your guys' eyes glued to the channel for anything new, whether it's movies, top 10s, also the other good stuff, and plenty more. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.